So hey guys, hi. So I'm going to talk about a very important transit that is happening on the October 30. That is the Rahu and Ketu change, which is happening after 1.5 years. So always remember that Rahu and Ketu are very important planets when it comes to, Kali Yuga. Yes, a very important transit. So Rahu and Ketu is nothing but the north and south node of the moon. And this has a very huge importance in the Navagraha is because these planets rule your Kali Yuga. Yes, Lord Vishnu placed these planets for a purpose, for the Kali Yuga. Yes, so these planets change every 18 months, which is nothing but 1.5 years, and it is very important to know their effect and what effect do they have on each of your ascendant. So, for people who do not know, your ascendant is nothing but the rising, like which star were you, which time were you born, and which star were you born. So, if you want to find out like what is your rising and all of that, all you have to do is find out your time of birth, like what time were you born. That is exactly your rising. Every zodiac, you have 12 zodiacs, right? Like that, you can be any of the 12 rising. And how do you calculate that is every rising lasts for 2 hours, which is 12 into 2, which makes you 24 hours. So every one of us is a rising, like the time you were born. Yes, exactly defining like which rising were you. Who is your, ascendant lord. Your rising, just, find out your time of birth so you'll know your rising. Okay. So what is the effect that this Rahu Ketu will have? Yes. So firstly, Rahu is, first of all, Rahu is coming out of Chandal Yoga, which is in conjunction with Jupiter. And finally, Rahu is moving to, your Pisces, the house of Pisces, which is also ruled by Jupiter. Yes. And then we have Ketu, which is leaving your, finally, the Venus house, the Libra, and moving to Virgo. Yes. So, they are going to form this axis. Yes. They are going to, step into this axis. Yes. So, how is Rahu in Pisces and Ketu in Virgo? First of all, Rahu is in water sign, which is Pisces, and Ketu is in earth sign, which is Virgo. Yes. So, firstly, this transit has a lesser effect when compared to when Rahu was in Gemini and Ketu was in Sagittarius, which were exalted. Yes, so North people consider Rahu and Ketu exalted in Gemini and Sagittarius, whereas South people consider Rahu exalted in Taurus and your Scorpio. Yes, so this axis, first of all, one good thing is Saturn, Rahu, which was aspected by Saturn, the third aspect, which is also the debilitated aspect, yes, on Aries, is finally getting free. So, first major point is that. Next is Jupiter is finally free from the Chandal Yoga, and also Jupiter will finally now give in the result which was being halt. Yes, for all of you Gemini ascendant, for Cancer ascendant, it's a very predominant, step because Cancer ascendant and also your Virgo ascendant. For you guys, it's a very big thing, and also Sagittarius ascendant and also Pisces ascendant. Yes, it's a very big thing because your Jupiter is free right now, at least 50% free from the Rahu aspect. Next is Jupiter has right now in the zodiac belt, you have all planets in Libra. You have Sun in Libra right now, debilitated. You have Mars in Libra. You have Ketu in Libra. You also have Mercury. So the seventh aspect of Jupiter is now very strong in Libra. So when Ketu will step aside, these planets will be able to give in a lot of big result. Yes, that is a very predominant sign. So Rahu and Ketu are in this sign all the way till count 18 months from here. It's all the way till there, May 2025. Yes, so all the way till there. Yes, so it's a very huge transit and very big step. Remember that this planets rule your Kali Yuga, all in collaboration with obviously Shani, your Saturn. Saturn right now is super powerful in its own house of Aquarius. Yes, which is a very big, very big impact, very big sign. Yes. Next, I'm gonna tell you guys on each ascendant. Yes, right. So I also want you guys to see another video wherein I'm going to talk about what is the impact that this will have on twin flames. Yes. So firstly, Jupiter Coming to your first ascendant, from the Kalpurush Rasi, your first ascendant is the Aries ascendant, Ascendant, Mesha Rasi. Even if your moon is there, so always remember that this is a combination. Always I check 50% moon, 50% ascendant. But right now my analysis have become 80% ascendant, 20% moon, because I am seeing that in current times ascendant is working more stronger. Okay, so for Aries ascendant, first of all you have Lagna Jupiter. Remember that Jupiter is your ninth house lord. Yes, super powerful in your first house, and also in the aspect of Shani. For Mesha ascendant, your Aries ascendant, Shani is a very important planet because it rules your 10th house and your 11th house. Yes, so you have your ninth and 10th combination, and you have all the planets right now in 7. And right now, for you guys, the Rahu and Ketu will finally leave your first house free. The first house of Rahu always gives you a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. So if you have your moon there, your moon is going to be finally free from the eclipse, eclipse yoga. Yes, yeah, the moon and Rahu combination, which forms the Grahan yoga, it will be free from that. And also your ninth house, the house of Bhagya Lord, which is ruled by Jupiter, will be free. So it's a very good transit for you guys. Next, but Rahu is going to finally going to leave your first house, which is very good, and going into 12th house. So from a bigger problem, it's a lesser problem. 12th house Rahu all talks about robbery, it talks about accidents, it talks about any sudden losses. Be careful about what you invest. You may lose money, and you may get caught with something illegal. So be careful. 12th house Rahu, when you're driving, please be careful. So 12th house Rahu has this effect. Next, you have 6th house Ketu, which is a very predominant, like if you want to change job, and it's a very big job change time, 6th house Ketu. But since this axis is fine, you will get a very good job as well, because your Lagna has Jupiter right now, which is aspected by your 10th house Lord Shani. Yes, and next you have Jupiter is going to move into your second house, which is a lot to do with Dhan Sthan, your second house, lot to do with your finance. Yes, so that is about your Aries ascendant. Next comes your Taurus ascendant. Taurus ascendant right now has, it is going to go into your 11th house. It's a very powerful, yogam or very big transit for you guys. So 11th house Rahu all talks about huge business. 11th house Rahu is considered very good. Yes, and I think Gemini ascendant like me have really seen 11th house Rahu. Yes, effect. Yes. So Taurus ascendant right now, finally Rahu is going to leave your 12th house free. Like all the business will inflow, a lot of money inflow. And finally, if you see, your Venus houses, like first of all, Ketu is going to leave your another Venus house, which is your Libra. So this has a very predominant effect on the Taurus ascendant. Yes, and your 12th house Jupiter. Yes, so remember that your in Taurus ascendant, Jupiter has also the role of business, your 11th house. So that is why specifically, so this year all the Taurus ascendant that I have seen have had a huge impact on their business, yeah, on their gains, on their money inflow. So finally that is going to be free. Yes, so 11th house Rahu all talks about a huge flush in of offers. You will have a lot of business deals with foreign locations, because 12th house Jupiter is going to activate that. Yes, so it's a very important transit for Taurus ascendant. Yes, finally it's a free time. Yes, and Ketu is going to leave your 6th house free. So if you are suffering from any ailments, 6th house all talks about health. It also talks about your torso, like any issues you had with your stomach and all of that. Yes, it's going to be free. The only thing here you have to be careful is your 5th house Ketu. So for somebody who's in a relationship, be careful about this, because 5th house all talks about your relationship. Yes, but a very good transit. And finally your 12th house is being free. Yes, so that's about your Taurus ascendant. Next comes the Gemini ascendant. Gemini ascendants, I think, suffered a lot when Saturn was in your Capricorn. Yes, because it was being aspected by Rahu from your Taurus. So that time was really bad for Gemini ascendant. But right now Shani is doing a lot of gains and really uplifting you with your ninth house lord being in ninth house. Yes, a lot to do with if you are also in the field of spirituality like me, like any astrologers, tarot card readers. It's a very good time for you guys because 11th house Jupiter is super active. Yes, which is also your 7th house lord. And I think finally it's going to release if any of you didn't get married. So Gemini ascendant specifically, I have seen many Gemini ascendants, their marriage being postponed and all of that. So finally it's going to release and it's going to get free. Yes, 7th house, your 7th house related, because Jupiter is also ruling your 7th house and your 10th house, which is in your 11th house. For Gemini ascendant, this is a very good transit, because 10th house Rahu will bring in a lot of growth. Right now, if you see for Gemini ascendant, 9, 10, 11 are super active. Yes, and like my father always used to say, 9, 10, 11 actually form the the chart of a person. So your 9, 10, 11, all the three houses will right now have planets. Your 9th house lord in 9 Shani, and your 10th house is going to have Rahu, and the 11th house Jupiter finally bringing in a lot of gains. And many people are going to start a business will be Gemini ascendant, because 11th house is super powerful, because your 10th house lord is right now in 11th. Coming to your 4th house Ketu, here you have to be a little bit careful about your property dealings, and if you're trying to buy any property and all of that, because your 4th house right now has Ketu. But I don't see this as a negative transit, because it's still good, because if you see, Ketu will later be aspected by Jupiter, which will come from May 2024, in Vrishabha Rasi, that is your Taurus, and aspect the Ketu, with the 5th aspect. So after May next year, you will see a lot of inflow of property. So you can also buy a property, and you can also, buy a flat or something like that. Yes. Another thing, 4th house is also the house of mother. Yes. So you will see a little bit of distance with your mother. Yes. You may be distant, you may be traveling here and there, and it will be a little bit difficult to meet her. Yes. So nothing like major danger, yes, for the mother, but I see a distance, like traveling distance. Okay. And another thing is, right now for Gemini ascendant, for Taurus ascendant, and for Gemini ascendant, I consider this a very good transit. Yes. Next comes your Cancer ascendant. Cancer ascendant right now is very disturbed by the 8th house Saturn. But 8th house lord in 8th, and I think that once this Rahu moves, yes, it's going to come in your 9th house and your third house of Ketu. 9th house of Rahu is super powerful, super powerful for your foreign, travel. 9th house Rahu is all about, travel. And another thing that I forgot to say for Gemini ascendant is, you will see a lot of change in your, nature. Because 4th house Ketu is your space of the heart, and you will see a change in your heart space on how you think and all of that. And you'll become really more spiritual. Okay. Coming to Cancer ascendant, for Cancer ascendant, it was a very tough year 2023 because of 8th house Saturn. Yes, but now you're going to see a little bit relaxation, is because your Rahu is going to leave you a little bit 10th house alone. Yes, which was really disturbed with career, and many Cancer ascendant didn't get promotions or couldn't have a lot of bonus or inflow of money. That is going to be released, and Rahu is going to go into the 9th house. 9th house is all about foreign travel. Is you may meet suddenly a very all the predictions of your guru is going to come true. So this is also a yogam, remember that. So if you consult a psychic, that predictions also need to come true. 9th house will be super active right now, and a very high time for you guys to try and manifest and even work on abroad opportunities, because 9th house Rahu is bang on, very good for that. Yes. So please get started, start looking for all the opportunities, because 10th house right now has your Jupiter, which is very good. You remember that your 10th house also has your 9th house lord owner, which is Jupiter. So very strong abroad or foreign opportunities. Yes. So Cancer ascendant, please focus on your abroad, dealings. Yes, very high time, because 9th house has Rahu. Yes. Next, third house has Ketu, which talks about the distance with your siblings, and be careful about your neighbors. Yes, third house all talks about your neighbors as well. Yes. So yeah, so that is about your Cancer ascendant. Next comes your Leo ascendant. For Leo ascendant, this is happening in your 8th house and second house as Ketu. This is a little bit, tricky transit because you also have 7th house Saturn right now going. Yeah. So huge attachment with your wife, yeah, with your life partner, yeah. But the minus here and also plus here is, firstly, Rahu is finally going to leave. If you have moon there, if you're Leo moon, Rahu is finally going to leave your moon alone. That is a very good sign. Yes. Coming to your ascendant, your second house has Ketu and 8th house has Rahu. This is a very tough time for you financially. Yes, so it can be that you invested in a lot in a house, and right now you have a lot of pressure of home loan and all of that, and it's a very, if you lost a job and all of that, it's a very tough time financially for Leo ascendant. Yes, because your second house Ketu and your 8th house Rahu. Yeah, also be careful about any black magic influence, because 8th house Rahu is known for that. Yes, and your second house Ketu is also a very tough planet for finance. Yes, be careful about your finances. Yes, but the one good thing is Rahu is not going to aspect your lagna anymore. Yes, so you will see if you had any health issues. So I saw Leo ascendant having a lot of health issues. Yeah, so finally it's going to be released, and if you have moon there, yeah, that is also going to be released. Yes. Coming to your Virgo ascendant, yes, for Virgo ascendant, this is also again a tricky transit, because your Lagna 1 and 7, yes, are going to have your Rahu and Ketu. So Lagna Ketu, makes a person like take decisions without thinking. Yes, because Ketu does not have a head. Yeah, so be careful about your decisions. Always cross check. Yeah, and seventh house has Rahu, so you may meet people who may give you false promises, take you into take advantage of your goodness and all of that. Be careful. So seventh house Rahu also talks about a huge addiction to your life partner. Yes, seventh house Rahu talks about that, and people who didn't get married for a long time may suddenly get married, because Rahu is known to suddenly activate the marriage lock. Yes, and right now you already have your 6th house Saturn, which is so a huge shift in the career. So associates or people that you are working with, you're going to leave them, and Rahu and Saturn are going to take you into new environment. Yes, and you have 8th house Jupiter, again a very high chance of marriage, because your 7th house Lord 8th, even if it is not considered good, but here I see a good sign, is because it talks about 8th house Jupiter always talks about a lot of income through marriage, like your in-laws may have a lot of money. So 8th house Jupiter talks about that. Yes, and remember that after this Jupiter is going to come in your 9th house, which is very, very, very good from May. Yes, so for Virgo ascendant, I say that your good time starts from May. Yes, May 2024. Once Jupiter also moves here, and right now 6th house Saturn, please take care of your health. Yes, a little bit. And 7th house Rahu, it talks about a lot about if you are on the little bit, if you're wanting to lose weight and all, this is a very good transit. So I always tell people, try to find the good in everything. So you may get toned, and this is a very good time for that, your 1 and 7. Yes. Next is your Libra ascendant. For Libra ascendant, this is happening in your 6th house and 12th house Ketu. First of all, 6th house Rahu is very it brings in a lot of trouble in your workspace. Yes, your promotion somebody else may get, but your one good thing is your 5th house has very powerful Saturn right now. Yes, and your 7th house is Jupiter. So you have the protection of these two planets, but the 6th house Rahu, you may have a little bit of disturbances in your workspace, and people may pick fights with you. That is the only thing that I see for 6th house Rahu. Also a little bit take care of your health. But the 12th house Ketu will also bring in a lot of spirituality. You may suddenly travel a lot of spiritual places. Yeah. 12th house all talks about like Adhyatmikta. Yeah. So it's all about, pilgrimage. It's all about reaching God. So 12th house Ketu, that too in the earth sign, that is why, a lot of temples, you will see, visiting a lot of temples. But A very good thing is like Lagna, Rahu Ketu will be finally free. Yeah, moving to the side, it's very good because Jupiter is going to aspect, and even Shani is right now very powerful in your 5th house. Yeah, for somebody, yeah, whom marriage was a issue. Here I give, this is different from your Kanya ascendant because your Jupiter is also involved in your 7th house. So remember that Jupiter is not such a great planet for Libra ascendant because it's the ruler of 3rd house and 6th house, which is not so important. Yeah, so Jupiter ascendant, Jupiter aspecting the ascendant will bring in a lot of clarity, and a lot of confusion which was created by the Lagna Ketu will be clearer. Like a lot of things will be clearer. Yeah, Jupiter brings in a lot of clarity. And 7th aspect of Jupiter and 9th aspect of Jupiter, I consider it very good. Yeah, also the 5th aspect, but I give more preference to the 7 and 9. Yeah, so Lagna, aspecting the Lagna, also be careful about a little bit of weight gain because Jupiter is known for that. Yes. So next comes your Scorpio ascendant. For Scorpio ascendant, the first thing is Rahu and Jupiter in your 6th house. Many Scorpio ascendant lost their jobs during this time. Is because because of the 3rd house Lord Saturn aspecting the 6th house. This is why it happened. Many Scorpio ascendants had work troubles, left workspaces and all of that. Yes. 12th house Ketu is, many Scorpio ascendant become a lot spiritual. This is very predominant because it is in the house of Venus. Your 12th house becomes the house of Venus, and a lot of people were praying to Lord Shiva and suddenly picked up Lord Shiva because it is the house of Venus, and Venus is known to worship Lord Shiva. Yes, so 6th house related, like all of your I'll tell you why it was so predominant, because Scorpio ascendant has one powerful, like for them Jupiter is very powerful. Like it's very important for Scorpio ascendant to see, we have to see your Jupiter. Every Scorpio ascendant by default can wear yellow sapphire, and I insist them to wear, because more than Mars here, Jupiter is rolling two important houses, which is the 2nd house and the 5th house. 2nd house of finance and 5th house of love. So all the issues, both the issues were a big trouble for the Scorpio ascendants. Yes, so finally that is going to get free, and you have 5th house Rahu, and now you'll have 11th house Ketu. Yes, 11th house Ketu is still very good, okay, but here comes the 5th house Rahu. Be careful about whom you meet. Yeah, so one tip that I want to give you for 5th house Rahu is, be careful about whom you meet for marriage or anything, because 5th house Rahu is known for illusion for a partner. Like you feel like he is a perfect partner, but he's not. Yes, only if you have somebody coming in from the past, then it is okay. Yes, but if you are meeting somebody new in the 5th house Rahu, which is just tomorrow, the October 30, changing at 1:30 p.m. in the noon. So 5th house Rahu is known to bring in false people. So my advice to you is wait for this 5th house Rahu to clear, and then when you see that okay, this person is still in your life, then marry. Yeah. So Scorpio ascendant, you will see a lot of finally slowly your finance improving, and also your love life improving. But be careful about whom you meet, because 5th house Rahu talks a little bit of addiction to a person. Okay. Next comes your Sagittarius ascendant. Firstly, your ascendant lord which was disturbed, your Jupiter which was disturbed by Rahu and Shani, will finally be free. You will have a lot of clarity of thought. And your 4th house lord, that is Jupiter, like a lot of disturbances in your home, in your family, will finally be a little bit cleared. But also remember that your 4th house Rahu, there is 4th house Rahu and also your 10th house Ketu. So you may be a little bit unemployed during this time. Yes, but don't worry. But finally your 11th house Jupiter is aspecting your 11th house, so you can definitely plan and think about business. Yes, so a very good time for that. And 4th house Rahu talks about changing homes. Like you will see a lot like nomadic life a little bit. Yeah, for Sagittarius ascendant, especially for Sagittarius ascendant. But your 3rd house is Saturn right now, 3rd house Lord in 3rd. This is very good, a lot of hard work. 3rd house Saturn always talks about a lot of hard work. So your hard work will slowly be, identified. Yeah. And third house also talks about your siblings. Yes. So finally, that also will be, slowly improved, because, Rahu is going to come out and leave your Jupiter alone. For Sagittarius Ascendant, it's very, very, very important. Yes. For Sagittarius Ascendant, Sun is also supremely important. So remember that Sun changes every month. So, when it is changing every month, right now it is debilitated in, um, you know, your Libra, but still it is your 11th house. So when Sun will come in your first house, that is your Sagittarius, yes, all the way from January 15, after January 15, you will definitely see a huge growth. Yeah, because it all depends. For Sagittarius Ascendant, I have seen that more than Jupiter, it all depends on Sun positioning. So your life will be like 1 month is good, again the next month is down, again you'll pick up the next month. So it's all based on your Sun, which is changing. Yes. So always remember that Sun placement is important. But your fourth house Rahu, please take care of your mother, because fourth house also talks about your mother. So a little bit issues you may see with your mother. And always remember that it's not only health issues, it can also be a lot of clashes and all of that. Yes. But I also see it improving. Yes. You will also, when Saturn will come down the line in your in your Pisces, you will also be the one taking care of your mother, and a lot to do with your mother. Yes. So for some of you, if your mother is in heaven, a lot of talk with your mother. Yes. Yeah. So the next one is your Capricorn Ascendant. Yes. For Capricorn Ascendant, it's happening in your third house and ninth house Ketu. This I hardly consider, like, I would say this is not much of a Rahu Ketu here, don't play much of a role. Yeah. Right now for you guys, I would say fourth house, which has Jupiter, that is supremely good. Yeah. So Rahu Ketu, I don't consider it, negative, and it's like a neutral time for you guys. Third house Ketu and ninth house, third house Rahu and ninth house Ketu. Just be a little bit careful, for fights with your sibling. Yes. That is the only thing that I would really ask you to be careful, because third house Rahu is known for that. Apart from that, this is a very good transit for you guys. Fourth house, Jupiter, then it's going to come in your fifth house. You will meet somebody and finally settle down. It's a very high time for your love marriage. Yeah. And if somebody is already married, it's a very high time for your children, because fifth house, that is the house of Taurus, your Jupiter is going to come there. Yeah. And it is the childbearing. And if for some of you, if you're trying for a male child, if you're trying for a son, like, it's a very good time. Yeah. I see that. Because Saturn right now is supremely powerful in your second house. And once Saturn turns direct from November 4, and also your Jupiter turns direct from December 31st, you will see a lot of inflow of money. Yes. Because your second house lord is Shani. Yeah. So slowly but surely you will definitely see your money inflow. Yeah. If you're trying children, that is also a very good transit. And also remember that you have to wait here more for Jupiter to move after May. Yeah. But be careful. The only point that I would here tell is, to be careful a little bit, with your fights with your siblings. Yeah. Can even be cousins. Remember that. It all talks about siblings. Yes. And ninth house Ketu is supremely good to find somebody to guide you. Ninth house Ketu all talks about a guidance from a psychic. Yeah. Because ninth house talks about the house of Dharma. Next comes your, Aquarius Ascendant, the Kumbha Lagna. Yeah. Kumbha Lagna. Yeah. So, it is happening in your second house. Yeah. And your eighth house. It's a very high, to be careful time. Second house Rahu all talks about, like, you may lose money. You may have, second house also talks about, be careful about how you speak. When your second house has Rahu, you've given a lot of, scoldings and galis and all of that. Yeah. Second house, be careful about your finances. You may have a huge losses and all, so be careful about where you're investing. And eighth house Ketu talks about, for somebody who's married and all. Yeah. You may have a little bit distance from your life partner, and yeah, you may have a lot of sexual cravings, because eighth house talks about that. Yes. So I would suggest you to really be careful, but not to worry, because Jupiter is later going to come in your fourth house. Yeah, that is also very good. Yes. So right now Lagna Shani is also super powerful. So if you are in control, and Shani always gives you the best decision making, yeah, so that is also very good. Last comes your, Pisces ascendant, like Virgo ascendant. This is happening in your 1 and 7. So your first house has Rahu and seventh house as Ketu. So you will see a lot of weight loss during this time. Yeah. And Lagna Rahu, it's known to give anxiety and stress, to imagine things which are not there. Because Rahu is an illusionary planet, it's a hypnotist. So it takes you in a world which is not existing. Yeah. So be careful about, your decisions in business and all of that. And also 12th house as Saturn. Little bit for Pisces ascendant. This is little bit, like how it was for Gemini ascendant 3 years from, for 3 years. I see that for Pisces ascendant, this is a little bit, tricky time. Yeah. So be careful for Pisces ascendant, but your house owner is right now very strong in your second house with the Chandal yoga being done. Yeah. So all the money that was stuck will slowly inflow. Yeah. So that also I see. And for Pisces ascendant, I have always seen that the planet here that is very important apart from Jupiter is Mars. So Mars has a very huge role in Pisces ascendant because it is your second house lord and also your ninth house lord. So where is your Mangal? Where is your Mars? And which dasha you are going through? That is also very important. So Mangal right now is in Taurus. It's in Tula, which is Libra. Then it's going to come into Scorpio. Then it's going to come into Sagittarius. So then it's going to get exalted in Capricorn. So remember that for your Pisces ascendant, always check your Mars, because the important planet here, see, every lagna has a core planet apart from their own lagnesh, apart from their own ascendant lord. So I'm going to tell you which planet is important for each ascendant. So for your Aries ascendant, the number one planet that's supremely important is your Jupiter, then your Saturn. Both are equally important because both, that I have seen that for Aries ascendant both play important role. And if you ask me, in Jupiter and Saturn, I will give more importance to, a little bit 5% more importance to Jupiter. Okay, because it's the friend of Mars. Yeah, best friend of Mars. Yeah. Next comes your Taurus ascendant. For Taurus ascendant, number one important planet apart from your own Venus is Saturn. For Taurus ascendant, make or break is everything is Saturn. If your Saturn is good, you get everything. Next is your Gemini ascendant. For Gemini ascendant, your main Karaka planet is Mercury himself and your Venus. For Gemini ascendant, these two are supremely important, and to some extent even Shani, Saturn. Yeah. Here for Gemini ascendant, I see that if your Venus is good, you get everything. Yes. But it is also important to see how is your Mercury, because Mercury here rules your 4th house. Okay. Next comes your Cancer ascendant. For Cancer ascendant, the number one important planet is Mars. Yes, and Venus. Here you have Mars and Venus. Cancer ascendant is one ascendant which has both Mars and Venus, very important because both are ruling very important houses. Your Mars is ruling your 5th house and your 10th house, and your Venus is ruling your 4th house and your 11th house. So very important. And if I have to consider, even Sun is very important because it rules your finance. Next, for Leo ascendant, the number one important planet is Mars again. So a Leo ascendant by default can wear he can wear a ruby and as well as a coral. For Leo ascendant, Mars is supremely important. Next comes your Virgo ascendant. For Virgo ascendant, the number one planet is Venus. These people can wear tons of diamonds because it rules their 2nd house and your 9th house. Your Venus is supremely important for Virgo ascendant. Next comes your Libra ascendant. For Libra ascendant, I give the first preference to Moon. So for Libra ascendant, the first important planet that I give is, here I give importance to Moon, I give importance to Sun because it rules your 10th house lord and your 11th house lord. Yeah. So I give a lot of importance. So Libra ascendant can wear a ruby, but always be careful. You have to check where is your Sun, because Venus and Sun have neutrality. Yeah. So I really give importance to Moon here. Yeah, I check where is Moon, because I have seen that if for a Libra ascendant Moon is good, they get everything. Yes. And next comes your Scorpio ascendant, which I already said it's Jupiter, which is your second house lord and your fifth house lord. Very important. Yeah, more than even your moon. Remember that for Scorpio ascendant, you know, for Scorpio ascendant, moon becomes Bhadak here. So it's very important. So you will see Scorpio ascendant always struggling with emotions. Yes. Next comes your, next comes your Sagittarius ascendant, and I said that for that, Sun is very important. Yes. Next comes your Cancer. Next comes your Capricorn ascendant, and for that, always check. Like, you have to see where is your Mercury, and always remember that even Venus is supremely important. Okay, for your Aquarius ascendant, again Venus is supremely important. You can see that Venus is important for so many ascendants. Yes, and like I said, for Pisces ascendant, Mars is important. So that was your short analysis. I hope you could pick up. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. I'll try to answer them. So yeah, guys,